Hello, welcome guys. We are back with the Chemistry Simplified classes. And today we are going to start with a new lecture of class 11, first chapter, that is some basic concepts of chemistry. So in this chapter we are going to study all the basics things about chemistry which you have already studied in class 9th and 10th. So we are going to start with first of all, we all know what is the importance of chemistry, right? Now, chemistry is a very interesting subject and it has lots and lots of applications in various fields, whether we talk about industry or agriculture, medicine, convenience, energy resources, everywhere chemistry is playing a very important role. Even though there's still a dark side of chemistry, but we are only going to focus on the important aspects of chemistry. So let's get to the basic. First is the nature of matter. So I'm writing the heading, that is some basic concepts of chemistry. Excuse me. Alright, so nature of matter. This is the basic that we study in science, right? All the time. Now, what is matter? Okay, so what is matter? You, me, every living or a non-living thing in the universe. It's considered to be as a matter if it has mass, it occupies space, and if it offers resistance, then it is said to be a matter. Now, matter can be divided, can be classified into solid, liquid, and gases. Solid, liquid, and gases. Correct. So this is the basic of all. Now, when we go deep into the properties of solid, we know that solids are hard and rigid. They have no compressibility. They have very low kinetic energy. Then they have they have a fixed volume. They are not compressible. They have very low kinetic energy. They have high density. They have high melting and boiling point. All of these we have already done, so I'm just explaining it here. Okay? Liquids क्या होते हैं? Liquids are those liquids which do not have a fixed shape, but they have a fixed volume. They are not rigid, but they have fluidity. They are also not very compressible. Then they have high kinetic energy as compared to the solids. Then they show diffusion. Okay, so all these properties are of liquids. Whereas if you talk about gases have neither fixed shape, no fixed volume. They are very easily compressible. They have high diffusion rate. They have high kinetic energy. They have the force of attraction between the molecules and gases is very weak. They have very large interparticle spaces between them. So out of these, we know that solids have very strong force of attraction and their interparticle space is very less. And then if we talk about liquids again, they have a force of attraction which is less than the solid but greater than the gases. Then they have interparticle spaces between them. So this is basic, which we have studied in class 9 also. Okay, so we are going to learn only basics, the chemical composition of matter. So how do we distinguish matter? Okay, physical classification and chemical classification. Just a quick revision of what you have already studied and come. So this is matter. Okay, matter can be classified. So first, what is matter? Anything that occupies space and has mass. This is the basic definition of matter. The matter can be classified into pure and impure substances. Pure substances, and it can be impure substances or mixtures. Then what is a pure substance? Now what are the characteristics of a pure substance? Now if we say we have pure substance, that means if it is made up of only one kind of atom, then it has a fixed composition. When we talk about a pure substance, we are talking about its fixed composition. And then it cannot be separated by simpler methods. Simple methods, or we say by physical methods, cannot be separated by simple physical methods. Right. Then if we talk about pure substances, they can be changed in identity and properties by physical methods. They can only be changed in identity and physical properties by physical methods, and their properties, they do not vary. But if we are talking about the mixtures, what is a mixture? So mixtures, they have variable composition. They have variable composition. इनकी जो composition होती है वो एक fixed ratio नहीं होती, उनकी वो काफी variable होती है, different होती है, same नहीं होती. Then they retain their properties. Right? We know that mixtures, they retain their property, their characteristic property, and they can be separated by physical methods very easily. So they can be separated by physical methods. Then they retain their property. Okay, so these are the characteristics of mixtures. Now further, physical substances can further be classified into elements and compounds. Elements and compounds, whereas mixtures can be classified as homogeneous and heterogeneous. Okay, so what is an element? Now how can we distinguish element and compound? So element, they are the only simple substances which are made of only one kind of atom, and it cannot be further simplified, right? Whereas compounds are those substances which are made from more than two or more atoms combined in a fixed ratio by mass. Homogeneous mixtures which have a uniform composition, whereas heterogeneous mixtures are those which have a non-uniform composition. Now elements can further be classified as metals like sodium, magnesium, calcium, non-metals like carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and metalloids like silicon and germanium. Semi-metals like silicon and germanium. Whereas compounds can also be distinguished as organic and inorganic. Organic, whose sources rocks and minerals, whereas organic, the sources plants and animals. Right. Then we talk about homogeneous mixtures like which have a uniform composition like salt solution, sugar solution, whereas heterogeneous mixtures which are like blood, urine, all these are a type of heterogeneous solution. Also we say sand and water. So these are the sand and water, chalk and water, all these are the heterogeneous mixtures. Okay, so this is the basic classification of elements matter into pure and impure substances, and further classification into elements, compounds. Okay, now we can further distinguish between the elements and compounds, their properties, and also the properties of compounds and mixtures. Alright, so we can do that. We can differentiate between the mixtures and compounds. Then we will move on to knowing the basic terms like atomic mass, Dalton's theory, that we will also discuss. Okay, so next is the difference between compound and mixture. Difference between compound and mixture. Compounds and mixtures. What is a compound? First of all, आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि compound होते क्या है और mixtures क्या होते हैं. So compounds, what is a compound? Compound is made up of two or more than two atoms which are present in a fixed ratio by mass. So the constants of a compound are always present in a fixed ratio. Okay, so if we are talking about compounds here, the composition of the compound are always fixed. They have a fixed composition. By mass. Whereas in mixtures, the composition of mixtures may be present in any ratio. Their composition is not fixed. Do not have fixed composition. For example, we know air. Air is a mixture of gases. Okay, and there the percentage of different gases are variable, right? They are different. Then compound is always homogeneous. It is always homogeneous in nature. Whereas a mixture can be homogeneous or it can be heterogeneous. Homogeneous or heterogeneous. Alright. Then if we talk about a compound, the properties of a compound are different from those of its constituent elements. When a compound, जब एक compound बनता है, for example हाइड्रोजन ऑक्सीजन जब मिलते हैं तब वो water form करता है, ठीक है. So the property of hydrogen is different, property of oxygen is different, but they combine together, they form a liquid. Hydrogen is a gas, oxygen is a gas, but when they combine, they form a liquid. Okay, so their property is entirely different. So what we say, the composition of the property of a compound, the property of a compound is different from its constituent elements. Whereas in a mixture, the property of mixtures, they remain same, they do not change. Okay, so the property of the mixtures are always same. They retain their property, we can say. They retain their property. We say air is a mixture and not a compound. So if we have a question like something like that, water is a compound and not a mixture, then how will you distinguish? So we can on the basis of the property, we can distinguish why water is a compound and not a mixture, and why air is a mixture and not a compound. Then some other properties, that when a compound is formed, okay, there is a chemical reaction taking place, okay, and whenever there is a chemical reaction, energy is either absorbed or released. So compounds happen because it involves chemical reaction. It involves chemical reaction. But mixture को form करने के लिए chemical reaction की ज़रूरत नहीं है. There is no heat energy, doesn't require chemical reaction. whenever there is a chemical reaction, heat is either absorbed or evolved. या तो एनर्जी रिलीज होगी या तो एब्सॉर्ब होगी. बट हियर हीट लाइट ऐसा कुछ भी यहाँ पे नहीं होता. हीट और लाइट इज नाइदर एब्सॉर्ब नॉर रिलीज. ठीक है. So these are then the melting and boiling point of a compound is also high. Melting point or boiling point is fixed. Okay, in this case it is having a sharp melting point. It's very sharp. But the melting point and boiling point of mixtures are not usually very sharp. Melting or boiling point is not that sharp. So these are some of the differences between compounds and mixtures. Alright, so we discussed what have we done so far, what is atom, what is the matter, how we can classify matter, okay, and then we have discussed what is the difference between a compound and a mixtures. Alright, next we will discuss what is atom, and also we will look through the Dalton's theory. What is Dalton's theory? He was the one who actually gave some idea, some experiment, some idea about a modified something which was accepted by all, right? So we know that what is atom. So according to the search for the structure of atom, the theory about atom was very much old, and it was right from by the Indian philosopher Maharishi Kannad, who actually brought this and said that atom, which is Parmanu, which is indestructible. Then again, at the same time, there was Democritus who also said that atom is indivisible. Atom itself has been derived from the Greek word atomos, जिसका मतलब ही होता है कि वो indestructible है. But since they were philosophers, they didn't have any experimental basis of that. Then we got John Dalton, who came and put forward his Dalton's atomic theory, and he said that atom is the smallest unit of matter. Okay, atom, initially he put forward few points like the atom is indestructible, atom is the smallest unit of matter, atom cannot be further subdivided into electrons, into subatomic particles. Okay, then he said that atom is the smallest unit which participates in a chemical reaction. Okay, so all these things were given by, he said that if all the atoms belong to the same element, then they will have, say, the identical aspects, like they will have same atomic mass, same chemical properties. Then he said that if atoms belong to different elements, their properties will be different. But there are some discrepancies in this theory, okay, and later on it was modified, and now we know that the atom is not the smallest particle, but atom can further be subdivided into electron, proton and neutron. Electron being the negative charge, proton positive charge, and neutron is the having no charge. Okay, then also we know that the atoms of the identical elements can have different masses, like isotopes of hydrogen or chlorine. They have 3 isotopes of hydrogen, protium, deuterium and tritium, having different atomic masses. Similarly, we have chlorine having 35 and 37. Okay, so it is now it has been modified. Then we know that the isotopes, isobars, the atoms of different element having same atomic mass, like calcium and argon. Okay, so all these are the Dalton's atomic theory. Then it was now the search began to further to know about the structure of atom. Then it was Antonio Lavoisier who came and put forward the laws of chemical combination. According to what were the laws of chemical combination? First law stated that laws of chemical combination, first is law of conservation of mass. He said that during a chemical reaction or a physical process, what happens, the mass of the reactant is always equal to mass of the product. That means just like energy is neither created nor be destroyed, it can only be transferred. In this case, during any physical or chemical change, the total mass of the product remains equal to the total mass of the reactant. So just put some example of it. So we say that law of chemical first law is law of conservation of mass. It was given by Antonio Lavoisier. He said that in 1774. Okay, Antonio Lavoisier, he said that the mass of the product in a chemical reaction is always equal to the mass of the reactant. Okay, for example, mercuric oxide, HgO. When it is heated, it forms Hg plus O2. Okay, so you can balance it. Okay, now suppose 100 gram of it is taken, mercury oxide is given. Okay, it gives 92.6 gram of Hg and 7.4 gram of oxygen. Okay, so in this reaction we can see that 100 gram of mercury oxide, when it is heated, it gives 92.6 gram of mercury and 7.4 gram of oxygen, which we combine, then we can say it is both the mass of the reactant and mass of the product is same. Okay, that means the total mass of the reactant is equal to total mass of the product. So energy is conserved here. Second one was law of constant proportion. Second law was law of constant proportion. That was given by Joseph Proust. Law of constant proportion, that was given by Joseph Proust. He said that in a chemical, whenever there's a chemical compound is formed, it contains the same elements which is present in the fixed ratio by mass. For example, no matter what is the source of the compound we get. For example, we get water from different sources, but water is always present in the ratio of, see, there are two atoms, so 2:16, that is 1:8. Where similarly, carbon dioxide, no matter from which reaction we get carbon dioxide, we can get carbon dioxide like this also, we can get calcium carbonate, but no matter what is the source of carbon dioxide, whenever we get carbon dioxide, it is always present in the ratio of 3:8. This is 12:32. So we get 3:8. So it will always be in this ratio. So this was given by Joseph Proust. So these are the laws of chemical combination. Next, we are going to discuss what is atomic mass, what is the relation, what is the definition of atomic mass unit, then we will discuss types of molecules, okay, and the mole concept, molecular mass. Okay, so for this, kindly go and revise, go through the lecture, revise it one more time. If you have any doubt, you can put a comment. If you like my lecture, kindly like and subscribe it.